Hello and welcome back to one of the most exciting parts of learning how to have a great group. We're going to talk about the kinds of people to invite and how to make sure that your group is full of exciting people like we have here. Yeah. Now, what we're excited about is training you in the 5 F's. Each one of them starts with an F, and if you follow this, you will find that you can draw into your group wonderful, life-giving people.
Yeah.
The first person that you want to invite is friends. What friends would give you life? And that whole process. I mean, Morgan, you have just the classic story of how you tried to start a group in a duty group, and then you went to friends. Tell them about that.
Yeah, so my husband and I actually were looking for groups on the website, a bunch of strangers that we didn't even know. And we did that for about a year and had no success. Finally, we made friends with our neighbors and found out that they were actually our age, and they were looking for a church in the area. And so we connected with them, invited them to Bayside, and we started meeting once a week with them and just followed the sermon series. Then we decided we were going to go to an event at Bayside. It was an event for married couples, and at the table we were sitting at were 3 other married couples, and we actually made friends with 2 of the other couples at that table, and we just told them, hey, we meet once a week. You guys want to come? And one of the couples said, sure. And so it was really this organic growth. It didn't happen right away. It kind of happened step by step. A few months later, they knew of another couple, and they invited that couple. And by the end of that year, we had 8 couples in our group. So
that's the way it works.
Yeah.
And it may not be all at the first night, but you have some friends that you really enjoy spending time with. So that's the first step. Invite friends who you think, man, I'd like to spend Tuesday night with them. That kind of thing. The second is the whole idea of family. If you have family you enjoy, then you invite them. And you just say, hey, let's invite some folks from family and work with that. I remember one fella came to me and he said, I hated it when you told me to invite family, but then I started to invite parts of my family that I was unconnected to. He says, I have 32 shirt-tail relatives in my family. They're all coming and we're having a great time. So it might be a family group if that would give you life.
Yep.
The third kind of F or person that you might want to invite is someone from your work or factory. And people that you might hang out with, people who at work you go, boy, they would be interesting. I'd love to have their opinions, that kind of thing.
My husband actually works in an office, and once a week he meets with 2 or 3 other guys, and they just have a short discussion about the scripture, and they use the discussion questions that we provide, and it's just pretty quick. They get in for their lunch, they have the discussion, and then they go back to work.
Yeah, and I think that these kinds of groups, you don't have to do them in the traditional church way, either at church or in your home. You can do them at work, you can do them at a coffee shop, you could do them at a local restaurant. I do one at a regular restaurant and just a bunch of guys come around. And what you want to do is have a place where you can have a spiritual conversation in which you encourage one another, talk to one another, and move forward. So the first one is friends, the second one is family, the third is factory, the fourth one is fun. Who do you have fun with? Do you bicycle ride with? Do you garden if you think that's fun? Or whatever. How would you include people that you would say, man, they're a fun person and I enjoy doing this kind of thing? And you may be turning kayaking or something into a little spiritual discussion. Any comments here?
Sure. I played volleyball in high school. I loved playing volleyball. Ended up playing it in college too. Had so much fun with that team. And we played intramurals, and after intramural games, we're just still having fun. Maybe we should go grab a coffee. And inevitably, those conversations would turn into something a little bit more substantial than nice hit, good serve. It was a great way to sort of elevate our relationship.
Yeah.
And our level of skill on the volleyball court.
Exactly. You never know how that's going to work. In fact, I bumped into a guy I was playing volleyball with about 3 years ago at a restaurant, and I said, I know you. And he said, I know you. And I said, volleyball. And so we started talking about church and everything. And you can find different connections that really will bring life to your group. Now, the fifth F is fellowship. Who do you see at church, or who do you bump into at church? And right now, you might not know that many people, but there's all kinds of wonderful people at Bayside that you would just go, that's interesting, or would you come to our group? Now, one of the most interesting things about the way we do groups is we encourage people to invite all kinds of people. My wife and I were starting a group a few years ago, and we invited 5 different couples, and 4 of them agreed and then got poached by other people. And it was great. It was just like, wow, because the fellowship is flowing, things are happening, people are inviting each other, and they're saying, hey, let me try this one. And what we want you to do is have fun in the inviting process. Now, it's not intimidating. It's just going up to someone and say, hey, I'm having a group at my house or having it at Starbucks. Would you like to come? It can be personal. It can be a text. It can be an email, phone call, or bumping into them at church. So go through those 5, and you should find enough people to have a great group.